welcome to episode 9 of the Will and Walker podcast. I am Will, and with me is
Walker,
Chip. And we're coming to you from
Dark Beardstown, Illinois.
Dark Beardstown, Illinois.
Spooky, because it's spooky season.
Yeah, it's getting close to Halloween. It's been a long time. We are back from a long, extended absence. We apologize.
I think our excuse is school.
Yeah, school, golf, work for me. Yeah, it's just been crazy. And trying to find a good time. We're back to youth group on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, and we record on Tuesday nights. And it's been crazy.
We record sound for the church on Tuesday night.
Yeah, record
by the way.
sound for
we
church
did,
on
we
Tuesday
didn't say
night.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, although we could probably fill up an episode about the time since school started and how golf went, Walker and I got away this past weekend to a campground in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell everybody that saw us this weekend and said they love the podcast, thank you very much. I had no idea we had so many listeners.
I didn't either. I was surprised.
Even would think to say something to us. I didn't realize that we had a following. So we kind of rededicated ourselves and decided that this past weekend would make an excellent opportunity to share some stuff and have some good things to talk about, and definitely have some laughs to share.
And hopefully we can eventually start up an actual schedule.
Yes. Oh, and I also wanted to broadcast this one on YouTube, but having phone issues, so I was going to use my phone to record the video, and it's not working. So hopefully maybe next time around we'll be able to do a video on YouTube as well.
We should get a camera.
Or a camera someday.
YouTube.
Maybe.
I want to do podcasts on YouTube, but that might be a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but yeah, someday. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk a little bit about this weekend and some of the things that went on. We'll kind of explain to you what it was that we participated in. And we're also going to learn the origin of Chip.
Yeah.
The origin of Chip. Oh, yeah. You'll have to stay till the end, though, to hear that. That's going to be our last story. Hopefully we'll have all kinds of listeners for this one. So, a few years ago, I came across a Facebook group. It's called the Dark Timber Brotherhood, and we follow Peter Kohler, who is a bladesmith. He forges knives, and he's also got a company that makes mid-tech knives. And I came across the Brotherhood, and I immediately felt like the people that were in the group were my people. It was like they were, just nice people, and they wanted to be around nice people, and they just liked to. They shared their life with each other, and I mean, it was an awesome place. So I met a Facebook group, and I decided that I was going to go on a camping trip. Well, that was 2 years ago. That was in 2018. Was the first one I went to, out in North Carolina, at a campground out there. I went there with probably 150 other people that I had never met before, with hundreds and hundreds of knives. And it was a great time. I met a lot of great people from across the country, and even from Australia that year. And it was pretty awesome. Well, this is the third year that I went, and it's Walker's first year that he got to go, and our friend David also went. And I don't know about you, but the trip was so much better with David with us.
Yes.
It was pretty fun.
I don't know how it would have been without him, but yeah, he made it pretty cool.
Yeah. So we spend a weekend camping in the woods in a tent, sleeping on an air mattress on the ground, which for me, it's difficult in the mornings or even in the middle of the night to get up, because it's not a tent you can stand up in. So it makes it difficult when you have to get up. But
not for me.
Yeah, not for you.
I'm short.
This year, the weather was not great. It was moist, I guess you would describe it as moist, but still it was fun. A lot of great people. So What was some things that stick out to you that you remember that of the weekend or about the people or
There was a lot. What I did most of the time is stood around and listened because the adults were talking all the time. And I that's what I do most of the time anyways with adults is I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, their conversation's pretty cool. And then, of course, things that stuck out to me was meeting the guy again that visited us one time. I
Dan?
can't remember who it is. Yeah, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool seeing him again. I don't know why, but it was just
Well,
that stuck out to me too.
Yeah, it's nice to reconnect with people that you've been around. He
And
had a big dog,
yes,
Drax, like Drax.
who scared me at first.
And we I mean, that was the first campsite we went and visited with anybody, and you got handed all kinds of knives.
Yeah,
One of them was one of the knives on Forged in Fire, Knife or Death, wielded by Zeke Minacho,
yes.
who was one of the finalists.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to hold that actual blade. So if anybody has seen that, Walker actually got to hold it.
I need to find clips of that show now
Yeah.
because I don't even watch it.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I think you watched it once. I watched it a couple times, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. What else?
espresso.
Oh.
Espresso at 10 o'clock at night.
Yes. Yes. So Dominic, he's a guy that I've hung out with a couple times. One time was up at Sergio's up in Chicago. Dominic loves espresso, and he knows good espresso, and he makes good espresso. And he has this press called an espresso forge, and he basically can pull shots just using hot water and a hand grinder. And that's actually the first time I've ever had espresso, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But it's got a pressure gauge, so he pulls it at the right pressure, and he's got a scale that he has it sit on, so he knows the rate that it's getting pulled, and so that it's not too acidic, it's not too harsh. And yeah, that was some good espresso. And right at 10 o'clock at night, that was kind of funny.
I didn't because he gave us little cups, which was cool, and but you told me not to drink it all at once, which was a good idea because that probably wouldn't have been enjoyable. But my first sip, I didn't like it because I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it's
Woo.
pretty. It's potent.
Wow,
It's really potent.
it was very strong.
But were you surprised at how foamy it was? I was surprised at how foamy and how just, I don't know, it was
And
real
then-
thick kind of.
Yeah, I don't know why, but after that, I just enjoyed it. I liked it.
Yeah, I figured you would.
And one of those is definitely enough. Surprisingly, I didn't have trouble going to sleep, though.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how.
Every night I went to bed, I was beat. So, what else? Anything else that sticks out? We found
Learning some wood stuff.
Oh, right, Lewis.
Yes, Lewis.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lewis teaching us some basic bushcrafting and
Yeah.
a little bit of carving and
We
how
have-
to make fire with just sticks. And
We do have those books too. We
Yes.
have some bushcraft books that now I want to read,
Yes,
which
yes.
I probably should have done a long time ago, but
That's all
you
right.
know.
Yeah, there's always time to read. But Lewis was cool. He also taught you some knots and things. And
Did you say he's on Facebook or not?
he is not. He does not have social media.
I
but
wish he was.
I can recite his phone number and his email address, both, which you should have saved in your phone.
Yes, I do.
What about we found someone that was into disc golf?
Yes.
Tim?
And I forgot everyone's name. Yes, Tim.
Who's Tim? Yes,
He was cool.
from Colorado.
From Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was cool. We were gonna throw around discs and then I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot to.
I spent a lot of time visiting and
Mm-hmm.
didn't think.
Well,
of
that's
disc
what it
golf.
is.
Yeah.
So
I
I
blast.
didn't care too much about not going anyways. So I probably would have sucked anyways.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would have. The courses that we were looking at playing had a lot of timber on them. And It would have been ugly.
And yeah, since I have been focused on ball golf recently, I kind of dropped disc golf, so I need to get my skill back up.
Yeah. Well, and since you mentioned ball golf, we should. I would like to throw in here that you were second on the team in regionals, so
Yeah,
you shot
that was
very
cool.
well. So very consistent throughout the year. You did a really good job. Consistent.
And this summer, I really need to do ball golf more because, like, I think that's the only reason I don't do better is because I just don't play until next season. And it's like, oh, now I got to relearn everything.
Yeah, golf is one of those things that if you want to get good at it, you got to play it all the time. And since you get to play for free, there's really there's an opportunity there. I wouldn't say you have to, but you definitely have an opportunity to play as much as you want. Anything else that comes to mind that was a surprise to you or you thought was cool? Or
being able to meet Peter, I was a little surprised because I figured he'd be really busy and he'd have just a crowd around him all the time. But he was just like, normal.
Yeah, that's part of what drew me to the group was just his personality and his spirit and his just desire to get better, and he makes some pretty awesome knives.
Did we ever talk about the voicemail on the podcast?
I don't think we did because no one knows who he is. So, well, some of the people actually finding out some of the people that know Peter listen to the podcast. So, I'll let you tell the story and then I'll give you my reaction.
Well, you posted in that group on Facebook that it was going to be my birthday, and that was back when you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, dumb lockdown.
So, on my birthday, Peter called me, but then I must have been busy or something, and I got a voicemail from him telling me to, like, call him back. Which was pretty cool. And then...
What'd you do after you listened to the message?
On instinct, I deleted it.
He deleted a voicemail from the Peter Kohler. There are people in the Dark Timber Brotherhood who have been waiting years and years to get a voicemail from him. And you get one, you delete it. I could not believe it. I was sitting in my chair. I almost fell down. I was like, what? What did you just do? What did you do? I will probably never get a voicemail from him. So, that was funny. Oh, it was.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to thank him for that. I was too excited that he was looking at my knife and critiquing it. So.
Oh, I thought that was okay. I just liked watching him talk about your knife and then show us a knife. It was pretty cool.
That's on your wish list now.
It is.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Well, some of the highlights for me were right off the top, you and David being there. It was fun to have you guys to hang out with. Shane Rooney, the guy that had the hot dogs.
Yeah, that guy's
chili
funny.
dogs.
He
was hilarious. Yeah, he
hot wieners. They're called hot wieners.
They're hot wieners because they have chili on them.
Yeah.
What was really cool was the way they dress theirs is they do mustard, chili sauce, onions, and celery salt.
Really? I didn't see the celery salt.
Oh, you missed this. That was the good part. Was the celery salt.
I thought the onions were really good too. I don't know why.
The food there was incredible. There was always someone there at every meal. Someone had enough to share. Boy, there was some really good food in all hours. Really, I had street tacos at like midnight one night, and just the generosity of people. It was awesome to see. Another highlight definitely was Peter looking at my knife and critiquing it and showing me where I needed to improve. That I will always cherish those times because it was his weekend. He got married to Amber Hargrove that weekend, and they had the wedding ceremony there on Saturday. And I mean, this weekend was all about them. And I just asked him if he had time, and he said, "Well, absolutely." So he he spent time with us one on one, and he looked at my knife, and there were things that I knew I needed to get better, but I didn't know how to get there in my handle. He explained it to me in a way that made so much sense, and it was so easy to understand. So I am very grateful for that. I think another highlight was probably talking to Mike Morgan. Got to talk to him for quite a while. I actually talked about you quite a bit. You
Who
weren't
is he?
there. He was the guy in the chair.
Oh,
Yeah. So he,
with the guitar.
yeah, yeah. He was playing the slide guitar.
I wanted to talk to him, but
Yeah.
then I never really went up to him.
I told him that you want to be a sound guy, so he gave me some things to think about and some
Cool.
ideas. So, yeah, I spent a long time talking. I actually started talking to him about his dog Lucy. He's got a pit bull. She's cute, and he said that she was on vacation too this weekend. He had a friend watching her that owned a farm.
That's cool.
Getting to see Matt and Tiffany Rouleau when I didn't think they were going to be there was definitely a highlight. Those folks they were the first people I met, along with Neff Weber, and a couple other people that them names are escaping me. That
Me
first
too.
year that I went, and they immediately made me feel like family. And every time I see them, it's like a reunion. So it was just awesome that they were able to make it, and I got to visit with them. So that was fun. Dave Pouzon was another highlight. I love seeing Dave. Love his work. By the way, if you need any leather goods, Dave Pouzon's definitely a guy. Custom, Positive Made Leathercraft is his business. Big B Burnaby Velarde is also a leather guy. He was there. He and his whole family, and they're just great people. They're just really down to earth. Just there are so many people that I got to spend time with that I hadn't in past years, that I loved spending time with, and there were some people that I didn't get to spend as much time with that I had in past years, or that I had in past years, and but that's all right. There'll be another time. Well, we're Blade Show in June,
Yeah.
so we'll see a lot of them, and there'll be some more that will be at Blade Show that weren't at the gathering. So it's just a highlight. It's a time that I get to recharge. Get away, get to be outside, and just hang out with just a bunch of really good people. So there are good people out there. This country, for one, needs to see what it's like for a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds and a bunch of different beliefs to come together for, just to be excellent to each other. I mean, that's our slogan: be excellent to each other. And I mean, it all started with a knife, but all of these people were able to come together and connect and find common ground. And I think that's something our country really needs right now, is just to be able to see that, hey, people are decent. They want to be nice. I wish we could just all come together and,
It sounds cheesy, but what I said on the way home was that the knives are the catalyst
yes,
to everything.
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely say a catalyst for many different things. So yeah, very good.
And that's why I want a documentary about it all, because so people can see, people can come together and just be chill.
Yeah, and be decent to each other and help each other out, and just be generous with their time and what they've got. So yeah, that was a lot. It feels like I just was rushing through it, but so many people. Another Rita Salazar is another leather person, and she was also one of the people in the group that first welcomed me that very first time I went. And I had talked to Rita, and she's going to make a sheath for the knife that I just made. So when I make my handle adjustments, I'm going to send it to her. And I told her, I said, I'm not gonna make any requests. You just make it, and make it how you would make it, and yeah, it's going to be cool. Rita makes some really cool stuff. So I think that's really all I had off the top of my head. I mean, there's all kinds of moments and things that. Oh wait, Chip! I almost forgot. We have to talk about Chip. You thought I was going to forget?
No,
didn't
I
you?
didn't think you were gonna forget. I thought you were just. I don't know.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Chip.
Yeah.
So, people think it's Chip off the old block. I am old, and I am kind of blocky, but it's not Chip off the old block. It could be. Could be that you're chipper. You know, you drink a lot of coffee or espresso, you get real chipper. But it all started on Thursday when we were driving down the highway. Do you want to start the story, or would you like me just to
I'm
tell
gonna just
it?
sit here and let you do it.
What? So, okay. So Kim, David's wife, really great lady, provided us with some snacks for the road. So we had a bag that had some Doritos and some popcorn and a bag of cheddar sun chips, which were David's favorite. His all-time favorite chip were cheddar sun chips. There was another bag that had granola bars in it that were, I don't know what I've been doing all these years, but granola bars need to be a part of my life again. They were awesome. There was some cashews, some cheese crackers, some other things. Excellent road trip food. So Kim, thank you very much for sending that along. So it was late morning, and really
I
about
thought it was
every
like
hour.
around 10 or 11.
That's late morning. 11 is late.
Okay,
morning,
I didn't
so
know. Sorry.
right before lunch. But about every
It was
hour.
right after.
Huh?
It
No.
was.
No, it was right before lunch.
No, it was right after.
No, it was right
I
before.
remember it.
No, because we stopped at Taco Bell, and I'll get to that part in a minute.
Okay.
But about every hour, David was offering snacks or drinks because he wanted us to be comfortable. That was the great host that he was. He was the chauffeur for most of the time, and
Even though he doesn't like driving.
he doesn't like driving because he drives all. He's on the road all day, every day. Was trying to give us snacks, and finally Walker caved in, and he said, "Well, is it okay if I eat some chips?" He says, "Absolutely, that's what they're there for." So Walker starts digging into the cheddar sun chips, and I will admit they're a good chip. They're not my favorite, but they're definitely David's favorite.
They're my favorite too.
Well, well, they're all the more reason for what's about to come up next. So, we're driving along and we get to Knoxville and I don't know how to pronounce it. Sevier, whatever. Stopped to get some gas. All the restaurants, their dining rooms were closed, and we were trying to find somewhere we could go in, but we couldn't. So we ended up at Taco Bell. So I was driving at this point, and I decided we went to the drive-thru. I just ordered the $5 something or other lunch because it was just easy to order. It was quick, not necessarily what I would normally order if I could go in and sit down because I ordered 3 or 4 tacos, a couple burritos, and double-decker Supreme and the cheesy gordita crunch, and on and on and on and on and on. So we sat outside. They had a dining area outside. We sat there and ate. And then we stopped at the gas station. David took over the driving. And so I was in the passenger seat. This was after we'd eaten. We were on the road again. About an hour later, of course, I was hungry because I only had the $5
I was right. It was after.
meal. It was. I know that this is crystal clear to me.
I'm sure it is.
whole story. It's like it just happened, and I relive it every so often. Every few minutes, I relive this tale.
Yeah.
So about an hour later, driving along, I'm hungry, sitting in the passenger seat. David's driving, and I asked Walker, "Hey, could you pass the sun chips up?"
I don't know why.
And so he grabs the bag and he hands it to me.
I don't say anything.
Nothing.
I
Did not say a
I
word.
say
Hands me an empty bag of sun chips. Completely empty. He doesn't, it's not, "Oh, Dad, there aren't any sun chips left." He hands me the bag. Like he thinks it's funny. Hey, I just ate all the Sun Chips. And the sad look on David's face is he nearly drove off the road out of sadness because you had eaten all of the Sun Chips. And there were no more Sun Chips to be had for the rest of the trip. You had eaten every last chip. So, from that point on, he was known as Chip. He still is known as Chip because he likes chips.
And sometimes I don't like it. But
I know.
sometimes I do.
That's just it. When we get our nicknames, we don't really like them at first, but they grow on you. So, like David said, it took him 20 years to get used to Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
So he now embraces Chucky.
Yeah.
What do you have to say for yourself, Chip?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry for chips.
Yeah.
So that's that's just one of the things that went on, and we will never let you live it down that you ate all of the Sun Chips.
Yeah.
And you had the audacity just to give me an empty bag when I asked for chips. I'm not asking for an empty bag. I'm asking for something to eat. And you hand me an empty bag. Thank you. Thanks for thinking of me. Well, that's all we got for tonight. It's 9 o'clock. We got to get this mixed and uploaded before we go to bed. So, thank you all for sticking with us. We appreciate your support. We appreciate
even through the extreme break.
Yes, extreme break. We're gonna try to get back onto a more regular schedule. I can't guarantee that it's going to be every week, but we're gonna try it. It may be every other week, but we're gonna try to continue to keep them at 30 minutes to keep you engaged. And again, we just appreciate the support. Hope we're entertaining. Let us know on our Facebook group page, Will and Walker Podcast listeners, if we should change the name of the podcast to Chip and Will. I'm open to that. Walker, not so much. He said if we do, he's not doing the artwork for it in protest. So let us know. Give us drop us a line on Facebook.
It's a funny idea, but I hope it's not serious.
Chip and Will. Chip and Will.
It's funny, but I
Chip
hope
and
it's
Will.
not serious.
It sounds it's almost snappier than the Will and Walker podcast.
The Will and
Welcome
Walker
to episode 9 of the
podcast.
Chip and Will podcast.
Will and Walker podcast
All right.
is smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth. All right, we're gonna go ahead and sign off here. Thanks again for listening, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Bye.